try and take on Skyla. But since my voice is already really hard to hear, I'm going to do post-narration with this and still record in-game audio with my ghetto capture.
Alright, so now we're heading into Skyla's gym, and you can see that I'm still on the plane, of course. And we walk into the gym, very exciting. And completely out of nowhere, as soon as you walk in, Clyde just like flies in and he smacks you. And an apology, he gives you fresh water, just like at every gym. I love the fresh waters, it's really helpful. But not really later on in the game, of course. Because like 50 HP isn't much later. But of course, this is a flying type gym, as you could probably just guess by the scenery and everything and the planes. And overall, you just kind of have to stand behind the walls to avoid the gusts. And most of the trainers here are pilots, and mainly I rely on Rambi here. His rock blast is something to be reckoned with. It's like intense. Okay. Anyway, more adventures in post-narration. We kind of just run through the gym as fast as we can. This is one of the few places in the game where you pretty much have to run in order to get anywhere. We continue fighting trainers. This guy has a Sigalith. There are a lot of those in this gym. We have one of our own sleeves, of course, still. It's pretty standard flying type fare, though, like all the Pokemon here. Make a couple mistakes in the gust puzzles, mainly because I overshoot it. A little bit cocky with it. And I briefly showed my drink there for a second. Anyway, we just keep going on through this gym. It's nothing too bad. Rock Blast just usually rips and tears through pretty much everything here. And yeah. This Unpheasant's kind of annoying with all the stuff that it does, and the protect and everything. But eventually we take it out. Cool stuff. And after this battle, I run out of the gym really quickly to heal my Pokemon. I went ahead and I cut out the Pokemon Center sequence and ran back into the gym. Now you get the pleasure of watching me go do all the gusts again. It will only take a second because I know how to do it better this time. The fans here are really helpful because you can actually just land on those with the gusts and you don't even have to get to the safe area. We continue trucking on, going against pretty much all the trainers here. Rock blasting the mess out of Unpheasants. And we just keep on going. I didn't remember which way was the valid way here, so I get sent back a good bit. I have to fight this other trainer because I wasn't prepared. That last one's a doozy. But this guy is really simple because he just has like a Ducklet and a Swanna. No, a Swoobat, my bad. Both of those fall very quickly to Rock Blast. And then the flight's just about to end, and my Pokemon need healing and stuff, so I just decided to go ahead and save. Yeah, there was a second flight, but I'll tell you what happened on that one later.
Alright, so, obviously, I'm in Florida right now, as you can tell by the palm trees. And on the second flight, I kind of fell asleep after a couple attempts at Skyla. And here I've mainly been relaxing. Right now I'm at Walt Disney, downtown Disney. Really cool. I like the palm trees, really. And I did some level grinding while I was here. And I realized that I can evolve Rhyhorn, and that will help out greatly against Skyla. So let's do that. And on the flight home, which is tomorrow, I'm going to take on the challenge. Flight back. See you in the next flight. Let's do this.
Alright, now let's return full swing to the battles. And Skyla was one of the toughest gym leaders. Probably the toughest so far. I had to do a bunch of level grinding on the trip in order to get remotely close to being able to defeat her. First off, her Swoobat is a really good Pokemon overall. I actually led with Nazca because its energy ball is strong enough to take out even Rhydon. It's just her Pokemon have really good type coverage in challenge mode, but they're all pretty much special attackers, so I actually put light screen on Nazca in order to stand a little bit more of a chance. I have this strategy where I have to pretty much survive 3 turns, so I can set up the light screen, hope Attract doesn't hinder my Psy Beams, which are boosted by Twisted Spoon and Tinted Lens, so I can go against Swanna, which is the toughest Pokemon on the team. And there's no way Rhydon can survive 1 Surf from it, even with Eviolite and Light Screen up at the same time, which is kind of scary. But luckily, Nazca's Psybeam goes through just fine, takes out Swanna. Light Screen wears off, but that doesn't matter much because Skarmory is next. Send out Foxy Grandpa just to see if I can get some flamethrower damage, but actually Foxy Grandpa is not my main strategy against this Skarmory, even though it's the only thing with a real super effective attack. I do manage to get some decent damage with a flamethrower, so it serves its purpose very well. Then I send out Eviolite Rambi, because Rhydon has intense defense, so even super effective Steel Wing barely does anything, especially with the Eviolite boost. So I just kind of whittle its damage down with Rock Blast. It takes a few turns, but it's worth it. It's easy to take out with just the Rock Blasts. And last up is Sigilyph of her own, which isn't too bad. It has Flash Cannon, but I can survive it thanks to Eviolite and Rhydon. And Rock Blast ought to do the job. That's the battle. Alright, so we finally defeated Skyla. It was actually a really long effort. You missed a bunch of outtakes where I lost against her many times. It was really bad. So we get our Jet Badge, badge number 6. 2 to go. One of the Dragon type and one of the Water type. So with this badge, wow, hot stuff. I think I paused there for a second because like the flight attendant or something came by. We get Acrobatics TM, which is nice. It's a good flying type physical attack if for some reason you don't have a good flyer or anything and you still want a flying type attack on something. My camera turns away for a second just to show the window, to show that I'm still on a plane, I guess. Maybe it's past some time. But anyhow, we take a quick hop in her plane. We can do that in a minute after Professor Juniper shows up and she's just all, "Hi there!" And she wants to go to the other side of the mountains. And we can't go through Twist Mountain, so we actually have an interesting non-linear route in the game now. You don't go in the complete Circle of the Unova region like you did in Black and White 1. Instead, you get to take the plane somewhere special. So, while I'm still on the plane, I think that it's best suited that we do the plane cutscene on the plane. So I run over, and we're about to fly out to Lentimus Town on the plane. On the plane. On the plane, on the plane. Bianca wants to fly too, of course. And I went through this quickly, so my post-narration can't cover their high-pitched voices. Darn. Anyway, we take off on the plane, which is a really nice cutscene in the game. We're an airplane. It veers to the left. Even though it's really not that far to the left. Anyway, we're now in Lentimus Town, which has an extremely groovy beat. And we learned a little bit more about some Team Plasma plot involving Reshiram and Zekrom, some speculation about it. And that's pretty much it. We're told to go to Opelucid City and see what Drayden has to say about it. And we're going to have to go through a volcano now. So I'll see you next episode with that.